Hi everyone, so let's quickly go over to America and do an update from over there, because Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, you may remember, who beat Joe Crowley, who was the second most powerful Democrat in the House. She beat him in the Democratic primary for the New York 14th District last year. It was a big deal. She's a huge progressive light and a leading light. Youngest congresswoman ever at 28, and she's now been sworn in, and they've been attacking her in the media, and the right-wingers and the corporate Democrats have been attacking and smearing her ever since she beat Joe Crowley, because obviously she's a threat. And the latest attack is hilarious, really, because they should stop now, but they won't, because every time they attack her, it makes her look good. This is no different. I'm not going to play this. They've dug up some old video of her doing, and her and some high school or college freshman kids doing some ode to the Breakfast Club dance. It's excellent. It's made her look great. It was really good. I wish I had videos like that of me when I was at school, but unfortunately they can't animate cave painting. It's not all great though, because they're saying that she was booed. Listen to this. They're saying she was booed when her name was read out and she was confirmed. Listen to this.
Ocasio Cortez, Pelosi, Olsen.
Really? Was she booed? Was she booed, or was that an ironic boo? Boo, I love you, boo. Or was it a boo for Nancy Pelosi? They've made a big deal out of that as well. They'll make a big deal about anything in the media and on Twitter, etc., except from policy, seemingly. Sticking on that and sticking on reporters doing policy, because there are reporters in America concentrating on policy, and they are attacked too. David Sirota is great. He's a really good journalist. And Adam Johnson has tweeted this out. This was from the Ben Cohen, who wrote an article for the Daily Banter with the title, David Sirota and the Bernie Left, i.e. the base of the Democratic Party, are now smearing Joe Biden over Social Security cuts. So smearing him over his record on his voting on Social Security cuts. That's not a smear, Ben. That's a conversation based on facts, based on a person's history, based on a person's voting record. That's not a smear. That's an adult conversation based on the facts as we know them at hand, which are irrefutable. And Adam Johnson rightly says, imagine having to write that for a living. But people do. Ben Cohen actually had to write that article. David Sirota also did another article, similar article, about Beto O'Rourke as well. Beto O'Rourke, you may remember, he's the Democrat who lost to Ted Cruz. I'll get to that in a minute. He lost to Ted Cruz, and the Democrats were floating him late last year as the great hope. And they were floating him as maybe he was going to be the white Obama, and he was the guy who was going to beat Trump in 2020. He was the guy that it looked like that they were going to pin their hopes on. David Sirota wrote an article, I've forgotten who, I think he might have published it in the New York Times, but it was just highlighting his record. His record is horrible. It's horrible. Voting for tax cuts, voting for deregulation, it's horrible. David Sirota wrote an excellent article dismantling his voting record, and he was told that he was smearing Beto O'Rourke. You can't smear somebody by bringing up their record. A smear, dear America, is when, for instance, they label somebody anti-Semitic when they're actually not. That's a smear. Calling somebody something that they are, it's saying somebody is something that they are not, and not backing it up with any evidence whatsoever. What David Sirota is doing is good journalism, and he's being attacked left, right and centre to it. And by the way, Beto O'Rourke, he's the hope for 2020. He lost to that guy. He lost to Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz, that's him the day after Donald Trump became the Republican nominee for president. I think it was the day after. Now remember, Donald Trump said in one of the debates that he intimated that Ted Cruz's father was involved in the plot to kill Kennedy. He was he basically accused Ted Cruz's father of being a traitor to his country. And that's him the day after phone banking for Republican nominee Donald Trump. And Beto O'Rourke lost to that guy. Losing to Ted Cruz in an election is like losing to Abu Hamza in a game of rock, paper, scissors. Whatever game it is, whatever you did that you lost at, you should never be allowed to do it again. You are useless, let alone be floated as the champion. That's the guy who's going to represent us. It is pathetic. You don't put up the guy who lost to Ted Cruz. He's not got a hope of beating Donald Trump. It really is not looking good. He might get another term, Donald Trump. If the Democrats carry on and they carry on blocking anything progressive, which they are, I'll get to in a second, Donald Trump is going to end up getting a second term. Talking about Donald Trump, he shut down the government because of the wall. He wants 1.8 billion funding, and I think it is 1.8 billion or something like that, for funding for his wall, which now isn't a wall, it's metal slats or something like that. These are some prototypes that townhall.com were saying that, hey, nobody can scale this wall. Really? Did anybody try tunneling under it? Because that wall is useless. It's 1.8 billion down the drain. It's useless. The only purpose it has is to make people like Ann Coulter and, let's face it, people who think immigration is the root of all problems in America, to make them feel safer. People who've probably never met an immigrant. And they've shut the government down over that. And you remember in December, Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer actually talking with Donald Trump in the Oval Office. Donald Trump sounded like a 5-year-old. He really did. He was a child in it. And they heralded Nancy Pelosi as a great woman and rock solid and keeping Trump in check. It's really, she didn't do that much in that meeting, to be quite honest, that I saw. She was to be congratulated on her, but they fawned over her anyway and created memes of her, being absolutely wonderful. And now she's got the gavel back. She's become leader of the House again. And this is the sort of article that the BBC and the UK media are writing about, as calling her the comeback of most America's powerful woman. The Independent did a very similar article to this today. They highlight her record and her history. They highlight what she's done. Anything good, they put in there. But the thing is, there's a lot bad about Nancy Pelosi. First of all, the last time she was leader of the House, she presided over losing... They lost over 1,000 legislative seats between 2008 and 2016. They lost the House, they lost the Senate, they lost the Supreme Court, and they lost the presidency to Donald Trump, when possibly anybody but Hillary Clinton would have beat him. They lost all, and she presided over all that as leader of the House. I think 2012 she lost, or it might have been 2016, but anyway, she's not got a great record, and her voting record is even worse. The first thing she's done since she's come in is put forward a piece of legislation called PAYGO, which essentially means for every dollar you spend in the economy on social programs, you have to take it somewhere else out to keep the debt ceiling where it is. It's preposterous. All the debt ceiling is the amount of money in circulation. All the debt is, the national debt, the amount of dollars in circulation. That's it. They've got the Federal Reserve. Just put another zero on the balance sheet. That's it. Your taxes don't pay anything, they get deleted. Just add some more money. It's the same in the UK. Our taxes don't pay anything. You pay the taxes, they get deleted, more money is printed. But this is how they are saying, hey, she's wonderful. She's just passed PAYGO, which is pretty much stops Medicare for all, stops Green New Deal, stops free college, anything, all of these progressive policies. Now, she said to the Progressive Caucus, which is 90 members, hey, it won't stand in the way of anything you want to put through. And 87 of them have gone, yeah, okay. In other words, 87 of the progressives in the Progressive Caucus aren't progressive. The 3 that voted against it are, and surprise, surprise as to who those 3 are. I'll give you three guesses. You'll only need 3 guesses. Ro Khanna, Tulsi Gabbard, and the newly appointed Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, which loops me nicely back to the beginning. And there you go. That's the update from America. Basically, the country is screwed if you are progressive at the moment. It does not look good. However, there is a leading light. Look on the bright side, America. We are just as bad over here, but we've got Brexit to contend with as well. So maybe there's a silver lining for you. Yeah, that's the news from America. Awful, isn't it? If you like this video and you want to see more, please subscribe and click the bell below. Independent media outlets like mine are being censored across all social media platforms, so please like, comment and share. That really helps out with the algorithm that is biased against us now. We are supported by our audience. Most of us are in independent media, so if you can support me and you do enjoy my work, please subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month, and every dollar helps. If just one in 5 of my subscribers donated $1, I'd be able to do this and not worry about funding. Thanks very much for your support. Until next time, peace and take care.